Winter has come where I live. We have snow everywhere, icicles off the roads, but it is definitely not winter for XRP. XRP is in a blazing hot summer right now. It is skyrocketing in terms of dollars. It is going up and up and up. XRP just does not stop. There is nothing stopping this train, right? All the banks are going to use it, right? Yeah, so if you are wondering right now, is XRP the next new big thing? Is XRP the next big Bitcoin thing? I would highly encourage you, instead of pricing XRP in terms of dollars, to price it in terms of Bitcoin. Because if you're going to be pricing it in terms of something, you better price it in terms of the hardest commodity in the human race, which is Bitcoin. Price XRP against Bitcoin, and all of a sudden you realize it's not so hot, it's not so cute, it's not so sexy, it's not so flashy. You realize it is something that is trending to zero against Bitcoin, going down and down and down. And yes, it has these occasional little bursts of excitement where it doubles or triples or even quadruples against Bitcoin. And that's cute and adorable. And we, see that happen. And I'm proud of all of you right now that are selling your XRP bags and are taking that profit. Like, good for you. Got no hate, got no shade on that. But if you're going to be one of these little screeching puppies that's drowning in its own filth as it trends to zero, it's like, I don't feel sorry for you, right? I mean, look at the chart. Price it in terms of Bitcoin. This is not some new big momentum wave. This is not some new big resurgence of user adoption. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. There are so few transactions on XRP's ledger that the entire market cap of XRP is now closing in on $3 million per transaction. Does that sound like it's being used by the masses? No, this is a pump and dump. Over half of all the supply of XRPs are held in escrow from a few core founders. You think that Bitcoin, you're too late, and all the early OGs, all the early holders, they're the only ones that got rich in Bitcoin, and now it's your chance. It's your chance to shine. Some glorious shining that is, when the reality is that the holders of XRP have way more of the supply in terms of percentage than with Bitcoin. You aren't early at XRP, you're late. It's already worth $200 billion. That's double the market cap of MicroStrategy, which is just ridiculous. It is a massive market cap, more valuable than the vast majority of companies in the world, and it does precisely nothing. It is a security that has been fought with against the SEC for many years. Obviously, they had a ruling about a year ago that made it seem a little bit more favorable. And guess what? We had a little pump then too. And likewise, it was cute, it was adorable, but a lot of people got burnt. And I was one of the people out there warning everyone that it was going to do nothing but crash and burn again in terms of Bitcoin. And guess what? That's exactly what it did. Some of the most viral posts of all time for me were about trashing an XRP at the last post it did. And I suspect this video is going to get a lot of views too. And I suspect if you go down in the comments, there are going to be a lot of double-digit IQers commenting about how this Luke guy's wrong and he's a scammer. Was I wrong last time? Was I wrong about how people lost 70% of the money last time that the thing pumped? And guess what? Nothing has changed. There's no user roadmap for XRP. There's no future adoption for XRP. This thing is a token created by a centralized server of people trying to take your hard-earned money. They'd rather have Bitcoin, they'd rather have US dollars, and that's why in terms of dollars, but especially in terms of Bitcoin, XRP is doing nothing but trending to zero. So you can speculate on you want, you can be a degenerate gambler on it if you want, but if you want to be smart, if you want to be intelligent, you're going to actually hold the asset and you're going to keep the asset that is going to appreciate consistently over time, and that is Bitcoin. That is not XRP. So do with your own money, at your own risk, whatever you want to do. If you want to gamble, that's on you. If you want to buy XRP, that's on you. You can do whatever the heck you want. But I'm telling you, if you zoom out and price it in the correct currency, you see this amazing little pump that's freaking everybody out right now for some reason is actually completely nonsensical. And so if all the people are pricing XRP in the wrong currency in the first place, you have to actually question their intelligence. Oh, I'm just buying XRP because I'm trying to buy more Bitcoin. Well, then you haven't even looked at the chart. Look at the chart. It's pretty self-evident what's happening here, right? So don't believe the people that can tell you that you're going to make more Bitcoin by trading XRP or doing this and that and the other, right? This is just the same old story happening again and again and again. And I suspect it's going to continue to happen because there's no shortage of U.S. political currency units and there's no shortage of stupidity, frankly. So please be very, very careful. If you have some XRP, congratulations. I would highly encourage you to consider selling all of it as soon as possible. Take those profits, run for the hills, because if you don't, somebody else is. Somebody else is. For every buyer, there is a seller. And as one final note, as more of an optimistic note, if you're into Bitcoin, you should be very excited by this pump for the long term. And the reason why is that this just shows you how early you are to Bitcoin. Imagine being so early to the adoption of the internet You're in the late 1980s or early 1990s when there are multiple internet protocols. And you're amazed that people are using the internet protocol that's controlled in a centralized way by a small group of elites, right? Like, wow, people aren't actually using the real internet. They're using all these other fake internets. They're using IBM internet. They're using AT&T internet. Wow, they're not using TCP/IP. Wow, that's amazing, right? That's how early you are to Bitcoin. You think you're too late to Bitcoin. You're not too late to Bitcoin. You are so freakishly early to Bitcoin. People still, somehow, almost a decade later, are being scammed into one of the dominant forms of a, fraudulent form of internet, right? You're so early to the communication system of the world. People are still using the alternate communication platform that's trending to zero. People are aping into XRP because we are so early to Bitcoin adoption. Most people are actually on base layer. Most people are using layer one. Most people are making on-chain transactions. The fact of the matter is there are barely 20 million entities that will ever be able to use the base layer on Bitcoin, and you're one of those 20 million people that's able to do that. Okay, there's 8 billion people in the world. The math says 99.9% of the world will never be able to use the base layer. And you are so early, you are within that early period of the base layer, and it is not yet completely obvious to people that all the scaling for future transactions is going to be on second layers. So no, the banks aren't going to be using XRP anytime soon. Absolutely not. What are they going to be using? Bitcoin. How are they going to be using Bitcoin? Second layer, third layer, side chains, Liquid, Lightning, whatever, Fedimint, higher layers. Doesn't matter. It's many, many years away, and it's not going to be here until there is enough of consistent demand at layer one to incentivize people to build that stuff. You don't get to justify the expense of building a 10-story building made out of steel on the island of Manhattan when the land itself is not even worth the effort to build a 3-story wood building. That is how early you are to Bitcoin. It's okay. It's okay that Bitcoin hasn't scaled yet for the world. You are just early. So this is my encouragement. You're very early to Bitcoin. If anything, you are too early to Bitcoin. And because, if anything, you were too early to Bitcoin, most people are getting sucked into these kinds of scams that continue to resurgence their little head, going up in price against the US dollar, pretending like they're actually pumping against Bitcoin when they have nothing but fall and decline into oblivion, just like the US dollar. So, have fun trading with your made-up tokens, and I hope you don't lose money. However, if you're buying it right now, the odds are not in your favor.